When I first came in, I was very low in energy. I had body aches, just horrible fatigue. Could hardly get through the day. Thought I was going to have to quit my job, and I had been that way for at least a year and a half.
I was having severe migraines up to 18 to 20 times a month, massive back pain that left me with even sciatica all the way down my left leg.
I've been coming to him for about 2 months now for gastrointestinal issues. I've done the traditional route. I've had biopsies and colonoscopies, and nobody could find anything.
I went to so many doctors, I started not to trust doctors anymore. I didn't even have the energy sometimes to go to the doctor to take care of myself. I just could only lay in bed, and not depression. It was exhaustion, like intense exhaustion.
I feel like I got my life back again.
Within a week of working with him, I am like a new person. I can go out and about again. I'm back to the gym and doing all the things I couldn't do for about close to a year. So it's been a great experience for me, and I highly recommend him. He's just a wonderful, kind man, and I've enjoyed every minute I've been here.
In approximately 1 month of seeing Dr. Borbon, I have gone from having 18 to 20 migraines. We're talking 4-hour plus migraines, the full-on, can't get out of bed sort of thing, to I've had 0 in the last month. Yeah, very exciting, and a huge, huge change in my marriage and in my relationship with my children, and as well as just my life.
It was after, that year later that I realized I'm doing this myself. All these things that he taught me to do, I'm able to now do on my own, that I don't have to come back and see you. This powerful change, and to let you know that you had saved my life. And that my children, my daughter came here to visit the other day and said, thank you, you saved my mommy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Roger Borbon, and welcome to the Dr. Pure Life Clinic. I'm so excited that you're here. I wanted to have a quick conversation with you, really to, one, make sure that we can make the best use out of our time together, and two, put you in the know on some things that you may never have heard before, because mostly this conversation is completely absent from all of healthcare, and especially in women's health, and that's where it belongs absolutely the most. So let's jump in. So the first thing that we have to know is that if we want to look at what one thing in our body is controlling every single cell, tissue, and organ system in the entire body, what's at the chief command center? Well, we'd have to say it's the brain, right? So we have to start there, because if we understand the brain, then we're going to unlock all your massive potential that you have to get well. So let's jump in real quick with this. So first, if I just kind of plop the brain out of my head here, we would say this is the right side, this is the left side. And without going into too much detail, what we want to understand is they do very different things. Your left brain is your linear thinking, your mechanical things in nature, words, numbers, compartmentalization, and it's your drive, action, motivation. That's left brain, okay? Your right brain is your creativity, it's your multitasking, your big picture thinking, color, shape, dimension, and the big take home on the right brain is your emotion and consequence. Okay? So if we just take that and we just understand that we were made to be using our full brain. Now, that said, men are left brain dominant and women are right brain dominant. And that's okay. And it's okay if we operate in a margin of difference, just like that. It's if that margin gets too big, this is when we start to have dysfunction. Now, on the other side of that equation, if the right brain, which is more consequence oriented, becomes, if you're already more dominant, just as a 97% of women are, and if that gets kicked up to be higher, and this can happen through traffic, it can happen through news, it can happen through a physical injury, it can happen through chemical toxicity. There's a lot of ways that can happen. So, but if the right brain becomes more dominant, and as a woman, if you're already prone to being right brain dominant to begin with, and then things just tip a little bit more, then that consequence turns into worry. And worry is okay if it's appropriate for the situation. But if the worry is not appropriate, if there's too much worry given the situation, then that turns into stress, and that turns into anxiety, and that turns into panic, and that turns into all the shades of depression. So this will show up like you're laying in bed and you're dog tired, and the wheels in your mind start moving, and you start having conversations with yourself. And this is very right brain type stuff. Whether we're looking at things like hormone dysfunction or colon dysfunction, digestive disrepair, where we're having things like anxiety and brain fog and memory issues and panic attacks, where we're having things where our muscles just have no juice in them, so they're worn out and they're full of chemicals like lactic acid that drive up pain. All of these things, you don't have chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, acid reflux, GERD, constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel, colitis, hormone dysregulation. There aren't 10 different problems going on at the base of it. If your brain gut connection isn't bridged and balanced, then you will not heal. And this is what I've seen for years and years. And now here's the exciting part. When you do bridge and balance your brain gut connection, it's amazing what happens. And your body right now is designed to perform in that way. So that just gives you the overlay, and also helps to kind of let you unload some of the weight that you've been carrying with all these labels and diagnoses. And I call this modern woman syndrome because women are right brain dominant to begin with. And modern times are relentless. The speed of life here in the US is blinding. So we have always connections with our phones, with social media, with our work and emails, with traffic, and all these kind of things that are there that aren't slowing down. Okay. Now, how you can deal with that can totally change based on the balance of your brain. But today's woman is being taxed all the time because we have all these things that are just part of living. And then if you're a mom, then you've got your kids. If you're a wife, then you've got your spouse. And so all these things are things that you can worry about. And all we need is the scales to tip for a long enough time, and it gets you entrenched in that cycle. Now, I don't want to take your strong right brain, if that's what's going on with you, and depress it. That's what medicine does. We don't want to dumb down your brain. You have a strong right brain. What we want to do is take your left brain and bring that up into balance, and then boom. Now we get the appropriate signaling to the visceral system, and you actually heal, which the resolution for modern woman syndrome is called the Brave Health Method, where we balance your brain, we restore your gut, we align clarity of time, and we get vital movement into your body so that you can enjoy your elevated life. And so if you're a candidate for that, then I'll be able to walk you through exactly in your situation what that would look like. And if you're not, I'll tell you. We will find out if this is a fit for you. And if so, then you can count on being done with all that you've been suffering with, even if it's been for years and even decades, and just leave it in the rearview mirror. So if you know that you're ready for the new approach with a proven track record, Use the link below to connect and reserve your spot for the best time for us to meet. Then you'll speak with our client service specialist, Holly. She'll make sure that you have everything you need before our visit. I look forward to seeing you soon so I can help you get the health you need for the life you truly want. Take care.